Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. We're doing another boxing and breakdown of the demo. This is Outlast Trinity. This comes with all 3 Outlast games that's ever been to release. It comes with Outlast 1, Outlast Whistleblower, and Outlast 2. Now, Outlast 1 and Whistleblower comes with all the updates to be released for them, and they both come on one disc, which install base will come up to 7 gigabytes. Now, Outlast 2 has its own disc and has its own install, which is around 20 gigabytes, but Outlast 2 also had a 2 gigabyte update that mostly just is a bug fix. Now, they're both almost separate games, and you don't actually need to have ever needed to play Outlast 1 or Whistleblower to enjoy Outlast 2, so depends on where you want to start off the series. Now, I have no connections to the Outlast series. I did have it downloaded at one point because it was a free download, but I never actually sat down and play it because I'm not a big fan of digital. So this is actually the really first time I actually ever got to play Outlast, so I have no rose-tinted goggles or any bias standpoints or anything like that. So this is the first time experience for me. Outlast 1 and Whistleblower were definitely a gem of experience for me. I think they were really well made. The graphics are gorgeous. The story is quite good. Ending wasn't as great for me, but I still quite enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Outlast 1 and 2. I enjoyed the, pushing the boundaries and reaching newer heights and showing that games could be a little bit more, adultish. They can have a little bit more adult themes, more nudity and stuff like that, and some very, very gruesome imagery. It was a very enjoyable experience, and I love the camera effect, the night vision set mode where you're in the dark. You can use it to see in the dark, as well as it's like a form of recording. I like how its system worked really well, and I didn't like, though, how there was not much of a fighting, but I understand that this game was more of an indie-developed game, the first one here, so their budget and time was not as great as what you get from a AAA game. Now, I'm not going to show you too much from the game. If you've never played Outlast, I won't show too much. It's just you're going to see the beginning stuff. I already gotten through it, quite a far of it, and got through it, everything like that, but I won't show you too much, so never fear about that. Outlast 1 was a really enjoyable game. Not enjoyable, but I enjoyed my time with it. It was eerie, and it just set the right atmosphere and the environment for what it was trying to portray. And it definitely had me questioning a lot of things and wondering what was going on and stuff like that. And that was really, really good. And I really enjoyed it. And Whistleblower just added to it. It's its own connection story to it. You definitely should play the Outlast 1 before you jump to Whistleblower, because it was kind of like an extra DLC thing. But it definitely answers some questions and leads you up to understanding certain things. But I guess the only complaint I really have is that there wasn't really enough user interactions. You the player, you just basically hide and just use your camera. There was nothing really you can do. You're just trying to you're there to explore and see what goes on. And I didn't like how quickly the battery dies in the game when you use night vision mode. For something that's so crucial for the game, it just seems like that they didn't lay them out enough, and if they did lay them out, they're really glowing, so it kind of also broke the immersion seeing a glowing battery to telling you where it's at. It just, like I said, I understood what they were trying to get at, but I just think it could have been a little bit better way, or just had a better system set up for the camera's battery dying or something a little bit different, into my opinion. But it still was a great game. I really enjoyed the first one. The first one was really good, and I do have to highly recommend to buy the collection for the first one. So we're going to go ahead and just jump to the second one now, Outlast 2. I was really eager to play this game. It was really interesting. I love religious aspects in games. If anyone knows that, I really enjoy when games touch into religious stuff. It's just, I know it's a very taboo thing, and I love to see twists and turns and bends that people do and show some of the darker sides to religion. Now, as I've always said, I'm not a religious man, but I respect and I do love religion. And religion has a big part in people's lives, and I respect everyone's beliefs and their choices and what they want to do with their life. And there are most people cannot deny that some religion has some dark pasts to it. So I understand how some might feel a little, uncomfortable with the subject. But to get into about Outlast 2 is that Outlast 2 is gorgeously graphic game. It looks amazing in graphics, especially when you're exploring the school. The school part, where you're like in these visions and stuff like that, and you're like exploring school, is extremely terrifying, extremely scary, and it just builds the atmosphere to perfection. I wish the entire game took place in this school. I wish the game was all about this Catholic school and everything like that, and then just some dark, twisted stuff was going on here. But this is more of a vision of the past, and you basically take place in the game in some village that almost feels like a village from Resident Evil 4, where it's like now you got some kind of weird shit going on and religious people worshiping, but it's just a form of a Christianity. But it to me, it never was really that scary being in a village. It never really took me to the edge of my seat, making me worried. I was actually more eager to jump to the next school scene or something like that, waiting for it. I didn't really enjoy Outlast 2 as much as I enjoyed the first one. I don't know what they did or why they changed so much of it. It's weird to me. It's like, it's the same game, but it's just, the mechanics and systems weren't just as, I don't know, it just wasn't as good to me. I felt like I was able to run through the game. It's like how I was supposed to play the game. It's like just constantly running. Then you're constantly getting caught. It was a constantly trial and error, and it became quite frustrating. It stopped being scary and just more like, I just want to get through these people so I can get to the next thing and talk about the story and stuff like that. It was very disappointing, the second one, especially after I just played the first one. I jumped to the second one and I was like, this is supposed to be the sequel or a big upgrade to the game. Now, graphically and some of the systems, like the microphone system, which you can actually hear audio, which I hardly ever really use. Also, it drained the battery. And the night vision is a little bit better improved. It's got more better visual, but again, drains the battery. It became more cumbersome, and it felt more of a chore trying to get through Outlast 2. Outlast 2 is not the reason to buy this trilogy. Buy it for the first one and the Whistleblower, because it felt like this one was just more going for a shock value than actual being scary and just trying to build atmosphere and everything. It's not a bad game. It's just, they definitely, I think, swayed from their direction and went to more of a smut film. Outlast 2 could have probably just been a better movie, in my opinion. But like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. If you want my opinion, I'd buy it for Outlast 1 and Whistleblower. It's really fun, the first one. Second one, there are better games out there in terms of survival horror, from Resident Evil 7 and Alien Isolation. Now, those games will give you a much better experience. So, thank you all for watching. Hit that like, subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!